How important is sleep? It's super duper important. It's one of the key strategies for your well-being. Great sleep is great for your brain. Your brain does a gajillion things while you're sleeping. Sometimes while you're asleep, your brain is more active than during the day. But if you experience anxious feelings, it might get in the way of a good night's sleep. And did you know that a lack of good sleep is a stressor in and of itself for your brain and contributes to more stress the following day? Let's get out of this web, and I'm going to share with you 3 key strategies for getting some sweet sleeps. Hello, Mira Vinson here, author and co-founder, along with my mom and sister, of Global Family Wellness. We are here to empower you and your family to thrive with a holistic lifestyle. So everything we're doing in our lives, everything we think about, everything we do is either contributing to our well-being or getting in the way of it. Our body and mind wants to be well. Sleep is a huge part of that. So let's look at some things we can do to get a better night's sleep. Number 1 is to create a good sleep environment. Your body sleeps best in a cool, quiet, dark room. Now, what that means for you is up to you, but think about how much light is in the room, especially electronic light. Like, my recommendation would be to get rid of all of the electronics in a bedroom. I know you need a lamp if you don't have a light switch that has an overhead light, but seriously, if you could get rid of all the electronic things, anything that plugs into the wall out of your bedroom, that would be an ideal sleep situation. But whatever you can do to approximate that is going to be great. Instead of having a lighted dial on a clock, use a battery-operated clock instead. If your child wants a nightlight in their room, have something with a warm spectrum and kind of off to the side so they don't see it directly, but they see the light emanating from it. If the door can be partially closed so a hallway light doesn't come in. A lot of kids don't like to sleep in the dark, so less light is better if you can't do no light. And then a cool environment. So just make sure that the sheets and the blankets and the air temperature in the home is cooler rather than warmer. You don't want to wake up sweating in the middle of the night. That's an indication that it's not cool enough to sleep. So cool sleep is really good. And if you're not used to sleeping cool, then you can slowly sort of work your way to having a little bit of a cooler environment while you sleep. You also want to have a quiet environment. Sometimes there's ambient noise that we can't control. Like if you have a train that rushes by your house. I lived at a place that had a train for a while there. And so whatever you can do to reduce sounds. For example, a TV blaring in the other room while your kids are trying to sleep isn't an ideal quiet environment. A lot of times when you have a baby, you don't want the environment to be completely quiet because you want them to learn to get to sleep with the regular noises of life. So I completely understand that. But as you're working towards repair sleep, when the sleep isn't that great, you want to kind of move towards this more quiet, more dark, more cool, and then sort of work it back into your regular life. So as you're working towards getting better sleep, a little more quiet is better. And then once you've got a nice sleep environment, and that includes one more thing, that includes clutter-free. So if you're sleeping in a place that's really messy, like maybe you've got your desk in your room and you've got work to do and you're thinking about that, if you can change that at all, if it's at all possible, I highly recommend it. In kids' bedrooms, if they've got toys and games and clothes all over the place, that's going to be affecting their mind and how they're able to sleep. So the best that you can, based on your circumstances, have a clutter-free environment as well. So now that you have a nice sleep environment set up, the next thing to do to promote a quality night's sleep is to get your body and mind ready for sleep. And this goes along very nicely with the third key strategy, which is to create an evening routine. So you want to create a habit so your body and mind are like, oh, I know what's coming next. We're very habitual by nature, and it can take some time to develop habits, but once you do, they're set and it's really nice. And so creating a habit And in that habit, having some techniques to quiet the body and the mind down. So I'll give you some ideas for habits, and then we'll look a little bit more closely at specific evening routines for quieting down the body and the mind. Some ideas for a sleep routine, and you probably already do a lot of these, right? Is just you're getting ready for bed, putting on your pajamas, brushing your teeth, reading a book. So what you read matters. You want to quiet down and have positive thoughts when you go to sleep. I do not recommend reading about Aragog, the spider from Harry Potter, right before sleep. So choose something that's positive and uplifting as part of an evening routine. And reading is a great way to do that, to quiet down the body and mind when it's positive and uplifting. Also, to maybe pick up your room, spend 2 minutes just putting away a couple of things as part of your bedtime routine. The activity of putting things away is part of quieting down your body and mind for sleep. And so your routine is going to include maybe laying out clothes the next day, maybe setting out some things to help you have a great morning, and just something that's routine. So pick 5 things. Maybe brushing teeth is 1, putting on pajamas is 2, reading a book is 3, and a couple other things. So you're like, do these 5 things in the same order every night. At first, it could be a little bit of a struggle. There can be some resistance, but if you stick with it and you make a chart and you say, these are the 5 things we're going to do, and you do them at the same time and in the same order, that routine in and of itself is a powerful strategy to get ready for sleep. Now, within that routine, we're going to go back to quieting down the body and mind. There's lots of things you can do to quiet down the body and mind before sleep. Not a lot of physical activity, not a lot of intense conversations or intense input from media or books. And do some simple stretching, do some quiet breathing. We always talk about crocodile breath, where you lay on the floor with your belly on the ground. And for 2 minutes, just quiet down your breath. Practice slow, deep breathing. This will help you have a better night's sleep. Oftentimes, sleep and getting ready for bed can be stressful. There can be family struggles. And then the kids go to bed and they're just not ready to quiet down. And so if there's this routine, this habit, this pattern that includes stretching, slow breathing, maybe listening to guided relaxations or that kind of thing, and you do it consistently, you will get a better night's sleep. Another super important component of the evening routine is reducing screen time. This is really important and where most families struggle. The blue screen light that's emitted from your devices is interpreted in your brain like sunlight, like the morning sunlight. And so it causes your brain to feel more alert. This, I think, is one of the biggest reasons that kids and grown-ups have a hard time sleeping, is because they're exposed to this light from the screen right before bed. So I want to challenge you, I want to invite you to reduce screen time. Have it be a part of your family culture. We're the kind of family who just doesn't use screens an hour before bed. Make it a part of who you are, because your sleep is that important. Whatever is on the internet, whatever is on your screen is not as important as your good night's sleep. So if your screen time's right before bed, commit to an hour before bed, no screens. It's ideal to not have those blue lights in your eyes giving messages to your brain 4 hours before sleep. Wah! I know that's a huge challenge for a lot of families, but let's head in that direction. Let's go there together as a community where, you know what? We've got other things we can do as a family that doesn't involve a lighted screen. We can draw or color or write. We can tell stories. We can read books. We can snuggle. We can do some nice stretches. We can take a dog for a walk after dinner. All the things that you can do in the evenings where it's like we're done being on the internet, we're done being with our screens for the day. Let's go plug them in a different room, a different area of the house, let them sit there overnight and get a good night's sleep. This is so important. A good night's sleep is one of your most powerful tools for reducing anxious feelings in the day. A study published in November 2019 in the Nature Human Behavior Journal reports that sleep disruption is a recognized feature of all anxiety disorders. It goes on to state, and of societal relevance, we established that even modest night-to-night reductions in sleep across the population predict consequential day-to-day increases in anxiety. These findings help contribute to an emerging framework explaining the intimate link between sleep and anxiety, and further highlight the prospect of non-rapid eye movement sleep as a therapeutic target for meaningfully reducing anxiety. So research shows just how important good sleep is. If you'd like some extra help with this, then check out our 21-day journey from anxious to awesome. This is exactly what we do. Day by day, in little bite-sized pieces, we help you establish an effective sweet sleeps routine so that you can get good sleep. Good sleep is an important aspect of your mental health, and so it's important that we take care of it, especially as kids. Developing healthy habits for sleep will benefit them for the rest of their lives. So if you like this kind of a thing, please subscribe to our channel so you can get more tips and resources and proven strategies to feel less anxious and more awesome. Go ahead and give this video a thumbs up and share it with someone you know who might be struggling with sleep and needs some tips for getting a better night's sleep. Let us know, what are some of your sleep routines and how do you get yourself a good night's sleep? We love to hear from you. Thank you so much for being here, and we'll see you again soon.